Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly pick a card reading. So if you follow me regularly, this pick a card is for Monday the 4th to Sunday the 10th of September. And if you just stumble across this reading as you're searching for maybe something else, just know that these messages are timeless for you, and there'll be a message in there that Spirit would like to bring you. So these messages are just timed for my regular listeners. If not, they're timeless. Let's get started. Okay everyone, so we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. For pole number 1 we have the crazy lace agate. Actually, I'll pop those down the bottom there. The crazy lace agate. Actually, do you know what? Sorry everyone, I don't know why, I'm just so anal with how everything gets presented. It's just got to look nice. So crazy lace agate in the shape of a heart. We have the black obsidian moon. We have the picture jasper moon, and we have the chameleon agate heart. So select by a crystal, color of a crystal, pole that attracts you, the number of the pole that attracts you. Spirit just gave me the message, like if you've been seeing a lot of ones, maybe they're guiding you to pole number 1, or if you've been seeing a lot of 4s, maybe it's number 4. You know, if suddenly you look up and, you know, it's 10:57 or something, maybe it's the 1 that's calling you, or maybe add up all the numbers, you know, just there'll be something that attracts you, and allow that to be what guides you, my friends. As always, if you feel drawn to more than one pole, please go ahead and listen to as many poles as you feel called to. I just want to take this time to say thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you to those who follow me regularly, and also welcome to those who are new to my channel. I hope that you enjoy these messages and that they help you in your week ahead. I'll see you in your reading. Hello pole number 1. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 9 of Cups. Actually, sorry, Spirit's just asked me to go this way, so there must be an order that this needs to fall in, so I'm going to do that. We have intention, and we have receive healing. We have the charging of her wand, and we have the witch shows her daughter the moon. Wow. We have death, we have the world, and we have the 9 of Cups. Goodness me, pole number 1. I'm feeling an energy here of being drawn to tears. So, and I will explain that feeling. I don't know if you just seeing these cards, you got an intuitive hit of the messages, or if the messages that I bring you in this reading, pole number 1, will have you feeling a little teary, will have you feeling, yeah, just a little teary. So, and it's not, it's almost like it's sorry, my friends, I'm just trying to make sure that I bring the exact feeling. It is the sense, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. It is the feeling of, yes, oh my gosh, I've gone through that, I've been through that. And I feel like your reading is a message of not only hope, Spirit's given me the word hope, but also it's finished. Now, Spirit's giving me a lot of information, so I'm going to go with that before we even go to the cards. But Spirit's saying the shadow work that you've been doing is coming to an end. The difficulties in your life that you've been experiencing are coming to an end. Now, I'm not saying that all of you have been experiencing all these things, but if you've been really finding that you keep getting drawn back to that shadow work, to that inner work of purging and releasing and, you know, extracting the wisdom from our lessons, not holding on, thank you, Spirit, extracting the wisdom from our experiences and not holding on to those experiences, allowing them to go. They make up your past. They're not you, and they never were you. They were an experience that you went through in order to gain an understanding. That understanding you've been called time and time again to go back to purge and to release and to understand and to grow, to expand, to open. That's coming to an end. We will always go through that in our life. That's how we grow. That's how we learn and gain wisdom. For some of you, it's been just going through those experiences that have opened your eyes to different situations, those challenges that we get that divert our course, that help us see our own blockages and our maybe fears or doubts that cause us to take and make certain decisions or take certain directions in things. There's this sense of this easing up on this heavy energy. And pole number 1, Spirit just said to me, like, these messages are coming thick and fast. Spirit's kind of saying to me, you'll get to the cards, but then these messages are so important. There's this sense, pole number 1, that the work that you've done, the experiences that you've traveled through, there's a lightening up of that energy. Spirit's just saying to me, very, very quickly, and it may not be this week, my friends, but very quickly, the Spirit's giving me the word power. It's almost like you're tapping into your own power, or what you've been through is increasing your power, and there's this sense that you're just going to understand. It's going to take you to the next level. And Spirit just said to me, pole number 1, oh, I'm just getting tingles all over, but Spirit said, you knew You knew there was a reason behind all this. You knew that it was for something. You might, and Spirit saying you don't know what this has all been for, but that's going to start to come out. And you know it had importance. It was significant. And I think that's why you just stuck at it and did your very best. And Spirit wants you to know, pole number 1, how well you've done. You know, really, my friends, give yourself that pat on the back. Give yourself the recognition of how difficult it was and how you're still standing. Yes, some of you may have had to pick yourself up, but you have. And I feel that those tears that I got at the beginning of the reading is almost this sense of, phew. You know, it's like, I know, I can feel that I'm getting there. I know. So let's go to your overall energy, pole number 1. And the first one is the charging of her wand. And when this card was put down, I got a message straight away, and I was going to start with that, and Spirit said, go to the 43. This is what 2023 has been all about. So the year, so in numerology, this year, 2023, we have been working a 7-year. The 43 in numerology comes to a 7. So this year has been all about coming into your own power. Now, if you are watching this, if you've just fallen on this in 2024 or 2025 or whenever, just know that this reading is asking you to look back over 2023 and you will understand what it was all about. If you're watching this now in 2023, it doesn't matter what month, it doesn't matter what week, it'll come to you when you're ready to hear this message, because Spirit's telling me there really is only one message, and when you hear it, that's when what you've been experiencing, that shadow work, becomes part of your past. The charging of her wand, this has basically you been coming into alignment with yourself so that you could weave magic into your life. A witch needs to be aligned with her wand. I'm not sure who picks who actually. But if their energies don't match, there'll be no magic. And this is what our life is like, pole number 1. It is the first and foremost the connection, well, not first and foremost, thank you, Spirit. Firstly, connect with yourself, and in connecting with yourself, you connect with your higher self, and therefore you connect with the all that is. That connection enables us to then create magic in our life. If you want magic in your life, pole number 1, you need to create that within yourself first. You need to align with yourself first. then the world will fall into place. And it's really difficult, you know, pole number one, because we're programmed to believe that if you want something, go out and get it. Go out and make it happen. You know, we've been told, you know, only you can make it happen. And that is so true. But we go out into the world not knowing ourselves, not being in alignment with all aspects of ourselves. And therefore we create some good things and some not good things. We create things that we look at and we think, oh, I never wanted that, but we created it. And that's not to say that, you know, thank you, Spirit, because this is important. That's not to say that when you come into alignment, that's it, you're always in alignment and you'll only ever create beautiful, wonderful things. No, it's not like that. You'll still create challenges. There will still be challenges in your life. There will still be hurdles to overcome. But what happens is when you're in alignment with yourself, there's an understanding that those challenges are there to show you something. So they become more, what word can I use, Spirit? They become like teachers. And you know that. And so you learn from them and you tend to hold on to them less. So there seems to be less heartache. There still is. We'll still experience all the emotions, because remember, we're still human. And that human aspect of ourselves, you know, has those emotions. But we tend to hold on to them less because we tend to understand why they're there. There's been a lot of learning, pole number one. And Spirit wants me to bring you back to, you're coming into alignment, or you're now in alignment, pole number one. And you can go out and create magic. So expect wonderful things. And I'm being really serious here. Expect wonderful things. Thank you, Spirit. Some of you might get caught up on that expectation word. So Spirit's said to me, maybe don't use the word expectation, use the word know. Know that you'll be creating wonderful things. Your other overall energy is the witch shows her daughter the moon. And this is a 1-1. I'm just seeing new beginnings. And 11 is a power number. But Spirit's really drawing me to the 2. And the 2 in the sense that there's more than just you. I'm feeling like there's people that are entering your life. And I feel people that will want to learn from your wisdom. People that you'll be able to share your experiences with, and they will be better for that sharing. They will gain something from that sharing, and so will you. And this card, the witch, shows her daughter the moon. I'm feeling very deep connections, very nurturing, very heartfelt, very much that feminine energy, regardless of whether you're a male or a female. It's this energy of, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just popped something into my head. It was like you're leaving your space better than what it was. there's this sense that your shared knowledge leaves people in a better place than what they were. Some of you might be writing, some of you might be doing something that kind of leaves a bit of a legacy. You might be teaching your children. You might have learnt so much that you parent now in a completely different way. It could be that, you know, your job might be, I don't know, Spirit's just showed me a beauty therapist. And what you have just been through has really given you these healing hands, or this gentleness that actually resonates with others, and they take that away with them. The Spirit's saying they're not taking your energy away, but that kindness and that gentleness that you show them, they carry that with them. There's a sense of you change people's day by the way that you are. And that has a knock-on effect. There's a knock-on effect here. And there's importance here. That's important. I feel like a lot of you are changing your life. A lot of you are doing things differently. You know, with the candles and the looking at the moon, and there's a gentle energy here. And it's really mindful. I'm getting a really taking the time to smell the roses, taking the time to see the beauty around you. I'm wondering, pole number one, if you actually see people for the first time, like really see them. You really see nature around you. There's this real deepening of your senses, and it really shows to other people. Now, Spirit's just called me to this owl in the image. There's great wisdom and there's a great sense of calm in you. And you know, pole number one, there's less fear in you. There's so much acceptance that I'm feeling from this card. Acceptance and allowing and being present in your day-to-day life with the people that are around you. I wouldn't be surprised, pole number one, if you're starting to draw a lot of people towards you. Because your energy, you know, oh, I just got tingles again. Spirit's just like allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy that is around you. And it is beautiful, it is calm, it is nurturing, it is kind. You know, the experiences that you've been through, I feel that at some point they may have hardened you up, but I feel that with all the work you've been doing, I feel like you've allowed that to go, and then there's this real softening in you. And there's this real strength behind that. You know, it takes great openness and strength to sit in our power with no control or force, to just be and allow things to be. The energy in your reading, pole number one, is magnificent. Like, it is really beautiful. Look at this, another 11. And look, you've got a 1. Gosh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, I keep getting tingles in your reading. And I often do in my readings, but sometimes they're very fleeting, whereas yours is kind of head to toe. Sometimes I'm not drawn to mention it, but there are times where I really am. You have 2 11s and you have a 1. There is a lot of new beginnings. There's this magnificent restart, pole number 1. And Spirit's brought you the card intention. And I feel that your intentions, even if you're not focused on them, even if you're not really being mindful of them, even if you're not sitting there writing, going, right, this is what I want now, you're in this energy of allowing and just being. That Spirit's saying that your intentions are aligned. Don't worry too much about planning, setting those intentions or those goals. This energy that you're tapping into, that you're in at the moment for the majority of you, and then some of you are tapping into it, is one of there's just so much alignment in you, and there's so much acceptance, and this energy of being. You're not rushing, that you're just naturally aligned with your higher intentions, your higher purpose, whether you know what that is or not. So there's this sense that what is for you will come. And just, this card is purely here. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said to me, this card is here to let you know, pole number 1, to just keep trusting, to just keep accepting where you are, what's happening, and to just allow the universe to guide you forward. You'll still need to make decisions. You'll still need to, do the things in your everyday life. But there's a peace in all of that. There's a peace, as in peace, tranquility in all of that. That is your guiding force. That is your guiding light. And you've got receive healing. And Spirit just said to me, all of 2023 has been about receiving healing. It's been about healing past wounds, past experiences. But Spirit wants you to know that there's this, thank you, Spirit. I'm gonna put the feeling that Spirit has given me into words, and I'm just asking Spirit to stop me if I'm going down the wrong path. It's like all of 2023 has been a year of healing, different aspects of yourself, different experiences. But Spirit's saying that the ultimate healing comes in this next journey. Because Spirit is really calling me to the one. And Spirit is really calling me that this is a new journey. And, oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said to me, well done, well done. And that's exactly the energy. It is, the healing has been going all the way through, but when you start this new journey, that's when I want to say that ultimate healing, and I keep wanting to stop myself, but the word kept coming, so I'm going to say it. And Spirit's saying, yes, the ultimate healing comes on this new path. And you know, pole number 1, it could be the people that come in that is the final cherry on top. And it's like that's what makes your heart burst open. It could just be that final release when you step onto your new path, that you shut that door behind you, that brings you that rush of healing. So if you are sitting there, pole number 1, listening, if you're listening to this now and you think, I haven't done enough, like I still feel, Spirit's given me the word broken, down, not in my full power. Don't worry about it. That's your full power doesn't come at the end of this journey. It comes with the first step into the following journey. Now, look at this major arcana. You've got death and the world. Now, if there's 2 cards, I mean, the major arcana is always considered more potent than the minor arcana. So the 2 ending cards are death and the world in the major arcana. They're the cards that signify the end more than any other cards, and you've got both of them. And then you've got all these ones. And there's this sense here, pole number 1, that if you will permit me to say, this is the death of your old self. This is you no longer falling into old patterns or old ways of doing or thinking. This is you not going back to past experiences. It's like, and with the world, Spirit saying read them together, but with the world it's like the end is like you walk through the portal and this portal closes forever. There's no way back. And when we achieve that, when we get to this level of ending, and Spirit's really giving me the word closure. What once hurt you, on whatever level, just doesn't anymore. What once were your fears, you're just not afraid anymore. And I'm not saying fear as in the fear like that daredevil fear where you're like, oh, I've conquered my fear of heights, I'm going to go and jump off a cliff. It's not that at all. It's those fears in us that make us make decisions from a place of closed off and fear, doubt. You know, Spirit's just given me self-esteem, self-worth. When we make decisions from that place, our decisions tend not to move us forward. They tend not to be aligned with our higher self because they're not made from a place of openness and trust and belief in oneself. And that leaves you, pole number 1. That is no more. And Spirit's saying to me, it's things like those of you that have been so hurt in past romantic relationships. Suddenly you know that was the past. They were there, that taught you something. It helped you grow and learn, but you realize that not all people in the world are like that. You realize, oh, we weren't in alignment, so It's understandable, but you're not afraid of going into another relationship, and you don't bring those fears into your next relationship. Those of you that feel that you can't go for those great jobs because you don't have what it takes, and you know, those self-doubts come in. Suddenly those self-doubts are no longer there. You're reaching for the stars, whatever that means to you, pole number 1. But it won't be revisited. Spirit's just giving me even things like, you know, for some of you that, like Spirit just said to me, eating disorders, emotional real problems, health problems. It's like you've gotten on top of it. And of course, you know, in those situations we seek outside help. Of course we do. But it's almost like you've reached that level of healing where your medication is perfect. You know, you've reached a level of understanding, and you close that door, and suddenly it's no longer this baggage that you're dragging with you into the future. So this is on big levels. This is on levels that really hinder us, that really stop us. Like Spirit keeps saying to me, reaching for those stars, having that self-belief in ourselves that enables us to step forward and be seen. And we finish your reading, pole number 1. And I want to say, my beautiful pole number 1, with the 9 of Cups, this is success. This is fulfillment. That's that healing. Gosh, this is that, oh my gosh, I am going to tell my past self, keep going, you beautiful, beautiful soul, because oh my gosh, look at where you have brought us. Through your fears, through your doubts, really, pole number 1, there is a real sense here of this newfound appreciation for yourself, and how we can go from a place, and I'm not talking that you were there just this year. This is baggage that's not only dragged on from childhood, but I feel past lives, and you know, I was going to say heritage karma, but like ancestral karma. This has been long standing, and it's done. It is done, and the portal is closing, and you're on the other side of that portal. And all you need to do is that transformation in you, allow it to shine out of you, share it with others, because there's this kindness, there's this gentleness, there's this nurturing energy that, oh my beautiful pole number 1, our world needs right now. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 1. Love, light and blessings, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. Now, oddly enough, this week I've been getting to normally I turn the cards and put them down like that, but Spirit's been saying no, the order is really important, so I'm to do it this way. So let's see what we get. We've got vibration. We've got commit to happiness. My goodness, I love the images on these cards. We've got her herb garden. And we've got a gentle path of inspiration. Oh, how beautiful. We've got the Seven of Cups, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. Do you know there's this, it'll be interesting to see if it follows through the rest, you know, for pole 3 and pole 4. But with pole 1 and with you, pole 2, your energy is beautiful. There's this you're gentle, nurturing, kind. There's just this embodiment of being one with nature, one with yourself, one with what is. There's this acceptance and this calmness that comes from that acceptance. That's very beautiful energy. So pole number 2, we start off with your overall energy is her herb garden. And oh my gosh, look at how beautiful. I think these cards are so beautiful. I don't think I could ever just channel because I just love cards so much. I want to be there. Do you know? And it's funny because a spirit just said yes, and yes, I want to be her, you know. And I'm wondering if that's how you feel. You just want to embody this calm nature, getting back to nature, being at one with nature. Now Spirit's drawing me to her herb garden, and the herb garden to me signifies healing, and it's like Spirit saying her healing. So pole number 2, doesn't matter if you're male or female, it's your healing. It's your space of healing. It's your place of healing. It's how you're healing. And in this healing, there's this gentleness that is coming through. There is this, because, you know, with the tarot and just with the message here, you know, it's like the day is dawning. It's not very bright yet. And it's almost like I'm getting this feeling that you're sensing your way through things. You know, herbs are a very a sensual thing. And what I mean by that is they tap into our senses. Like they smell. You know, if you've run your hands along a rosemary bush, you can smell it. And we taste them. You know, we eat them. You know, and we can see them, we can look at them. But herbs really come out more in smell and taste, as opposed to maybe how they look. And I'm just getting a feeling here, pole number 2, that there's this energy of sensing your way through life at the moment. And I'm really getting that message with the tarot as well. Oh, and vibration. The gentleness in this reading, pole number 2, I really feel it's coming from a place of, I really feel like you've just said to yourself, you know what? I don't know where I'm going. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to see what comes. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I get more insight and that changes. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry that I don't have the next 20 steps or even the next one step that I know what to do. I'm just going to feel my way through this. And instead of the unknown creating an energy of worry and stress and I've just got to do something, it's actually given you the complete opposite energy. You've kind of just gone, well, I don't know, so I'm not going to fight it. I know that I'll know what I need to know when I need to know it. And you know, pole number 2, that is not an easy place to get to, because we're just not naturally wired that way. Thank you, Spirit. The Spirit just went, oh no, that's not right. No, we are naturally wired that way, but the world that we live in doesn't allow us to be that way. You know, the world that we live in is all about going out and getting things done. And you know, I can't remember who I was listening to. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I was listening to just a short on YouTube from a Sadhguru, and look him up. He's amazing, and the way that he explains things, I think, is just brilliant. And he's actually really, really funny, but he's actually got very strong points of view and very strong messages. And the one that I was watching, and thank you, Spirit, for reminding me who it was, because go find it. It's hilarious. And he's saying, why do we always have to do things hard? You know, it's always, we say to people, work hard, study hard, you know, you know, and everything's done hard. He's like, why can't we say study gently, study lovingly, work lovingly, work kindly? It's not our world, is it? It's not our, thank you, Spirit, that's the word I was looking for. It's our programming. That's the way we're programmed. It's not our natural self. And there's this message with this herb garden, pole number 2, that really, really shows me that you're tapping into your authentic natural self. You're letting go of those that programming. And you know, that is so important, because you're guiding the way for others to do the same, because we're all being called to do this. You know, we suffer so much from mental illness. You know, chronic fatigue is a big thing. We're exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically. We weren't wired to go 24/7. We weren't wired to have that quick response, the quick thought, the quick, you know, we believe that somebody asks a question, we should answer the minute they finish their question. Where's the pause? So it's made us poor listeners. And it's made us frantic for always having that quick response. It's not natural. And you're coming back into that natural state of what it means to be a being. And then you've got a gentle path of inspiration. And I love this card. After this message and with the messages from the other cards, this gentle path of inspiration, that's when it comes. This gentleness She's reading a book. She's made herself a lovely cup of tea or coffee. She's taking time. Look at that. She just looks so cozy. She looks comfortable. She looks like she's set aside a considerable amount of time just to be. Like she's got herself comfortable on the chair. She's not sitting at the very edge of it. There's so much wisdom with this owl in the card. There's so much wisdom that you've gained, pole number 2. And this wisdom has brought you to a place of allowing, just allowing things to be as they are and allowing things to roll out. So thank you, Spirit, to happen as they're meant to. Do you know how much stress you're saving yourself from? And Spirit just said to me, now, some of you might be saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so stressed. Then this might be coming. This might be the message, pole number 2, that just makes you go, oh my gosh, why am I doing this to myself? Because I feel that you're closer to this than you might actually realize. Some of you are already in this, and this message is coming through, Spirit, saying because you're feeling like, oh gosh, am I just taking the easy way out? Am I just ignoring life and just like hiding from it? You're not at all. Don't think that this mellow energy that is in you, coming to you, this calmness, this needing and wanting and willing to just take a step back and take your time with things. Don't think that that's a form of laziness, or don't feel, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just shown me an ostrich with its head buried in the sand. That's not you, pole number 2. You've not buried your head in the sand. You are just aware that you don't see all your options yet. So you're not going to go running in any old direction. You're going to wait for that clarity and then take the steps. And that's the wisdom. And for those of you that are feeling stressed at the moment, know that this energy is in you. Spirit is saying this energy is in you. You are wanting to take a step back. But it's almost like, I feel for some of you, you don't quite know how to. It's almost like you got on the treadmill and now it's like, I don't know how to step off it. Spirit saying, just slow it down. You don't have to just jump off the treadmill. Though I get the feeling that's what you want to do. Spirit's just saying, just slow it down, slow it down. Paths will be shown paths will be shown of how you can get off that treadmill. For some of you, it's simply the slowing down of it. You don't actually need to get off the treadmill. It's just the slowing down of it that will get you to this energy. But that vibe, that vibration of needing to pull back, Spirit saying is in all of you. And it might just be a very quiet whisper for some of you, but I feel like all of you have already gone, well, that would be nice for some, or I don't know how to get there, or oh my gosh, my life is so busy, I can't just step back from it. You, trust me, pole number 2, you'll be shown how you can slow down. You'll be given insight as to how you can step back. And there's a certain level of openness, okay. Spirit's just asked me to share. So I've just started a course, and the course is actually a lot more full on than I actually thought it would be. So it's taking up a lot more of my time, and I haven't studied in 30 years. Well, no, not quite, 20 years. And so it's not something that comes naturally. I've had to kind of really get back into it. And so, you know, I'm really struggling to keep my readings out and my study on par. And I'm feeling this need to pull back. But there's this part of me that doesn't want to, because I want to keep doing my readings, and I don't want to slow down on those. But Spirit is gently guiding me into ways that I can. And that's what you'll be shown. It's like, sorry, poll number 2, I hope you don't mind me sharing, but it's like for me, I can't slow down with my studies because I won't pass. But I can with my readings. And it might be ongoing, it might just be temporary until I find my feet, but I'm going to have to pull back a little bit. And Spirit's shown me ways that I can. And that's what you're going to be shown. There'll be things that you suddenly, we've got jobs and things like that, so we can't just say, oh, I'm just not going to go to work. No, you'll still need to go to work, but there might be ways that you can pull back. And there might be ways as well that, me wanting to get all those readings out. Well, I don't need to really. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I'd rather have fewer readings and then be of better quality than just sort of push them out in a rush and not really take the time to receive the messages and do a proper job. And I think that's the same. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just saying to me, that was just an example to show you in my life how this will, Spirit said, will play out in yours. There'll be an aspect where you can see, where you can pull back. Spirit will show you that. You will see that. Trust that. But there is a slowing down, because there is this sense of it's almost like, yeah, thank you, Spirit. It's to help your vibration and it's to help your happiness levels, because when we get too overwhelmed, we fall into that stress, we fall into that do, and we forget to take this time. We don't take this time. And I feel it's in taking this time, poll number 2, that your vibration rises, that your vibration changes. Because when you think about it, poll number 2, when we're rushed, we don't really exude an energy of kindness. Because, people might ask us something and we might just, our answer might come out a bit abrupt, not because we want to be rude, but because we're hurrying. We want to get to the next thing. We might not give things the attention that they deserve. And there's a sense here, Spirit saying to me, poll number 2, that your vibration will suffer if you don't slow down. Because when we rush, we panic, we stress, our vibration goes down. And there is a sense here of keeping your vibration high, because our vibration fluctuates. Always. It doesn't matter how awakened we are, how evolved we are. Our vibration, it changes. It fluctuates. Our vibration fluctuates when we don't feel well. Our vibration fluctuates when we're rushing. Our vibration fluctuates when we're excited. So it changes, and that's part of being a soul and a human being. And Spirit, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said to me that your vibration is beautiful at the moment. It's that vibration, it's that energy that I was talking about at the beginning, that gentle, nurturing, just really kind and open and accepting, and the energy of just allowing things to be as they are. And Spirit saying busyness is going to mask that vibration. It's going to change that vibration. And it's almost like Spirit saying you need that tranquil vibration in order to receive the clarity, in order to move you forward. You've got this card that says commit to happiness. Now, Spirit's just said to me, there's a real focus that is required here for the number 7. So the 34 in numerology comes to a 7. This commit to happiness is where Spirit has been guiding you, pole number 2, for this whole year. And if you have just stumbled across this and we're in another year, know that that's what 2023 was all about. Commit to happiness. What makes you happy? And there's a sense here of, it's not, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's been really adamant here, because Spirit's saying pause. And this is to come out on its own and well defined. So this is important, pole number 2. This is not you going out and seeking happiness. This is not you going out and finding happiness. When we commit to happiness, that is finding, sorry, Spirit, thank you. Spirit said not finding. Okay, there's no need to find anything. It's within you. The happiness is within you. And it comes from a sense of calmness. It comes from a sense of knowing that you commit yourself to happiness, to joy, to love. And what does that mean? That means opening yourself up to those. It means even in times of uncertainty or difficulty, it doesn't shake that inner core of you, who you are. That happiness is always accessible within you. And again, Spirit saying to me, rushing is the opposite of this. It's really important, pole number 2, that you don't rush. That you take your time and you allow things to unfold in their own timing. Now, Spirit's just saying to me, there seems to be 2 groups here. So a group that is still in the doing, and this is a message to help you pull back, and you will gently, slowly. It's that slowing down the treadmill before getting off. If you need to get off, you just might be slowing it down is all you need to do. Some of you are in this energy of slowing down, and Spirit's explaining why. Spirit saying that is the energy that is required now. Because those of you that have slowed down, you might be feeling like, oh, I should be doing something. And Spirit's here to say, no, no. In that slowing down, in that taking your time to be present, really allowing, keep going back to that gentle, nurturing, kind energy. coming back to that, that's where your happiness lies. In that gentleness, in that openness. It's almost like it allows your true colours to shine, your inner light to shine. There's also this sense of aligning. I mean, I know these are not necessarily the colours of the chakras, but I'm kind of seeing your chakras here, and I'm seeing alignment flow between them. And you know, when we commit to happiness, so when we say to ourselves, yes, I understand I won't always be happy, but I'm going to find happiness in day-to-day things, those little things. That's why being present and slowing down is so important, because we miss them, don't we? And there's this sense that in that slowing down and in that opening up, you allow things to come to you. You draw things to you. Your vibration draws things to you. There's this sense of, when we allow things to be just as they are, we're open, aren't we? We're not forcing or controlling or pushing to make things happen. And when we open like that, things have time to come to us. They have time to find us. And we're present enough to see them when they do. You know, these beautiful colours here, people are going to be very drawn to your pole number 2. Don't think you have to go out and get anything. Things are coming to you. And I think that's why Spirit's really drawing our attention to this vibration. Now with the Tarot, you've got the 7 of Cups, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. And with the 7 of Cups and the Moon, I just feel like Spirit's saying, don't worry about not having clarity. Don't worry about seeing choices, opportunities, and not knowing which one to take. Don't worry, and don't just focus on the inability to see where you're headed, or to even know where you're headed. It's not your path right now. The way, so with this 7 of Cups, this can be, illusions. But I don't feel that in your reading. I feel more like there's some ideas that come up and then they sort of fall away. And then people might say things and you kind of think, oh, that's a great idea, but, oh, I don't know. It feels wishy-washy. And that your cups are your emotions and your feelings and fulfillment, and they're the water signs. And I'm getting this sense of wishy-washy. Nothing feels like it's going to stick. Nothing feels like it's going to happen. It's almost like you're on a beach and the waves come in and the waves go out, and it doesn't leave anything behind. There's no shells, there's no seaweed. And you're kind of thinking, oh. So this, for me in your reading, and Spirit's giving me the word emptiness. You might be feeling a little bit empty. You might be, and that's simply because your outer world just doesn't feel like it's doing anything. You are not empty. You are full. You are really, if you just tap into your essence, you tap into your inner self, your heart, you'll actually feel like you're in a good place. But when you look at your outer world, you may not feel that. And the moon is the major arcana that shows that we don't have clarity. And so the moon, because the major arcanas are about how spirit helps us co-create our life, moves us forward in our life, the moon is a card of trust. You almost need to begin your journey without knowing at all where you're going. And you'll be torn between this excitement and this newness and all the fears and doubts that arise. So you'll feel like you're going, I want everything, and then one day you're going, oh, I don't want to do anything. You know, so it's this real, that's why I think tapping into your vibration is going to be really important, because it's going to show you where, you know, those emotions are starting to, you'll feel heavy, you'll feel, Spirit's telling me that you're going to be shown so many signs, and you'll know when your vibration is not quite there, when you're rushing, when you're found yourself in a place of fear rather than just joy. Because we end the reading with the Page of Swords, and the pages are the court card that accepts the ace. So in this case, the Page of Swords has accepted the Ace of Swords, which is new ideas, it's clarity, it's inspiration. The swords are the air sign, so it's about your mind. And the Page of Swords has taken this great idea or this inspiration, and it's kind of going, wow, this is exciting. But what do I do with it? And the page is an energy of curiosity, newness. You know, it's the first card of the court card, so it's the very beginning of the journey. And I feel in your reading, pole number 2, this Page of Swords is saying clarity's coming. The ideas and the inspirations are coming. Now, the swords can be this hectic energy because it's our mind, you know, that hamster wheel mind, where the mind just goes off in 5 different tangents and we're left kind of going, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. So it is so, and that's why you've got these energies as your overall energy. Keep bringing yourself back to this, pole number 2. Healing, quiet space, gently nurturing yourself and those around you. And I love this as a gentle path of inspiration. The inspiration is coming, the understanding, the knowledge, the ideas, it's all coming, but gently in those quiet moments. Oh, beautiful reading, pole number 2, just beautiful. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. There we go. So we have flow. We have sensitivity. Your overall energy, we have her little cauldron and the company of trees. I like how she's in a tree here and it says the company of trees. We have the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Gosh. Now my weekly pick a card readings are not generally about love, but Spirit's just said to me, this is this is a little bit about love. Okay, so this is going to cover, let's see where it takes us, but I got the impression that Spirit was saying to me this is going to be a little bit about romantic love. So where would you like me to start, Spirit? I was going to start with her little cauldron, but I kind of got the feeling that you kind of pulled me away. Okay, so we're starting with flow. So these are additional messages in your reading. We've got the overall energy is her little cauldron and the company of trees. But for some reason, as I went to pick up her little cauldron, I kind of got the feeling that I needed to stop. So Spirit wants us to start with flow. When we start with a particular card, I always pay attention to where I'm drawn to start. Just because there's overall energy doesn't mean I'm going to always start there, though often I do. But it kind of, I find the first card kind of sets up the reading, and I feel this is no different. And this is, Spirit is really basically saying, pole number 3, this week and for the rest of the year into 2024, flow is going to be really important. And Spirit's saying to explain what they mean by that. It's just allowing things to flow. Being in the flow means that you allow things to flow around you. It means that things might flow away from you and you allow. Things might flow to you and you allow. So there's no grasping. There's no it's really funny. Spirit's just showed me the image of like trout in the water, and they're saying, so you're standing in a river and there's trout coming your way. Now just stand there. There'll be a trout that comes right in front of you and you just grab it, as opposed to lunging left and right, forwards and backwards, trying to catch the ones that have passed, trying to catch the ones that are about to come, or kind of thinking, oh gosh, there's one over there. It's like it will come to you. And there are things that will pass you by. That's, Spirit really wants you to have that image in your head, because Spirit really wants you to realize that for you, flow is just being where you are and allowing things to leave and come. It's not going out searching. You're not the one drifting down the river. You're the one that's being present in the river, and things are drifting to you, past you, or away from you. And you are just allowing. Now the 8 here, the 8 I'm often drawn as a personal power number, but in this sense I'm being drawn to next year, because we're working in numerology, we're working a 7-year this year in 2023, and I'm being drawn to next year will be an 8-year, and that is significant to some of you. It might be from the time you watch this video until 2024, the need to flow is going to be really, really strong. If you're in 2024 when you first watch this, and that's when you fall on it, 2024 will be all about the flow for you. And the flow is not you flowing down the river. It's you being present in the river and having things flow to you or past you. And that's, I'm not sure why, but that is really important. It's really important that you don't see yourself floating down the river. You are where you are, and things come to you. Now, Spirit just said to me, as things come, you may move. You know, something might come to you along the river and you catch it, and it might make you move to the shore, like if it was a trout and you'd put the trout in a bucket. So it will have you moving, but you're not moving to grasp things. You're not moving to hold on to things. And that's really important, pole number 3. And then you've got sensitivity. And yes, I feel some of you might find yourself being more sensitive to the environment around you, the people around you. I'm also picking up a sensitivity to the food that you eat or the pollution that might be in your atmosphere. I'm seeing allergies. So the increase in sensitivity is not just on an emotional or feeling level, it's actually on a physical, it can also be on a physical level as well. This is all asking you to tune in. There's an attunement here. I don't actually even know if that's a word. I'm hoping that it is. And I'm hoping that it is a word, and if it isn't a word, I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. It's like you're tuning in to how things affect you, which leads you to understand what's important to you. I actually feel that some of you, this sensitivity, because I'm seeing her aura, I'm picking up that some of you might actually start seeing people's auras. You might actually even feel your own. You might actually have that sensitivity that enables you to actually feel your vibration. You'll actually physically feel it. I'm wondering if some of you are tapping into those gifts, those natural gifts and abilities that just make up who we are, but you know, sometimes we don't understand them and we push them away when we're young. And by that I'm meaning, you know, seeing spirits or channeling, seeing people's auras, getting these feelings that you can't explain. There's this sensitivity to you that is starting to come forth in some way. And of course, this is a general reading, so it'll be different for all of you. Now again, I said in poll number 1 and I've said it in poll number 2, and I wasn't sure how it would go poll number 3, or I'm not sure how it'll go in poll number 4, but there's this gentleness here. There's been a gentleness in all the readings so far, and that gentleness is your gentleness. That gentleness has been in the message in each pile. That's the energy that the different piles are embracing, and this gentle energy is kind and it is nurturing and it's open and loving. Do you know, I'm feeling pole number 3 that this flow, and you know, thank you Spirit, I'm so appreciative. This flow, I can see now why Spirit brought me to this card first, because this being present and just allowing things to come to you, I feel like it's helping you tap into aspects of yourself that you never knew. And I think that really changes how you see yourself. I also feel that there's a real sense here of this flow of just acceptance of what comes and acceptance of what goes. You know, missed opportunities. You're not gonna see those as, oh my God, I missed that. You're just gonna see it now as, oh, it wasn't mine. It wasn't meant to be. Because if it was meant for me, I would have got it. And you're going to understand that on such a deep and fundamental level, pole number 3, that you're just not going to worry about things that don't happen the way you would have liked them to happen, or things, you know, suddenly your expectations are, you would like things to go a certain way, but you don't expect them, you don't need them to. It's amazing, amazing energy. And this sensitivity card, I feel like this, it's these gifts that I don't know if you knew you had. And I feel like you're going to come by them quite accidentally. They're gentle energies. You know, like, you know, channeling, it is a gentle energy. You know, you need to be quiet. You know, because we've all got our brain that talks. So, you know, my brain went straight to, and I kind of felt this little, ooh. And if we're not present, and if we're rushing, and if we've got our head filled with the next thing we've got to do, we miss those little moments. And maybe that's why I did that. Maybe to be able to show that in your reading, pole number 3, of how being present and slowing down makes us more attuned to these subtle gifts. They're gifts. This is talking about gifts. And Spirit said because I was going to say gifts and love, and Spirit said the love is coming. There's almost like, thank you, Spirit, thank you. Pole number 3. Now, I know a lot of people are not interested in love readings, and I don't really tap into them unless I'm called to in my particular readings. But if you are, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just asked me to share, though at times I do watch love readings from others, from, you know, other tarot readers. I'm drawn to it. So if you are somebody that kind of thinks, oh, I don't want a love reading, still listen. Okay, so still hold on there, my friends, because this is important. Spirit is saying to me, for those of you that are single, and happily so, but would like to find a partner to share your life with, Spirit's saying to me there's almost been this aspect of yourself that has been hidden, and it kind of formed barrier. Spirit's saying barrier is too strong a word. It kind of formed a veil, and other people could feel this veil, and they didn't know what it was, but they could feel this veil, and it made them feel uncomfortable, even if they didn't know why. And some people may have felt uncomfortable. Some people may have felt that you weren't being authentic. Some people may have felt that you weren't available. Some people may have felt that almost you were hiding something. And not that they would come out and say, what are you hiding? They wouldn't even have known that. They wouldn't have been able to put how they were feeling into words. But there was just like this barrier to all this veil, because it's not a barrier. Spirit keeps telling me it's not a barrier. It was just this veil, almost like there was a bit of fog. and they couldn't quite make their way to you. And so relationships may have been short-lived, or they may have lasted a little while, and then you found yourself realizing, oh my gosh, there's really nothing here. What are we holding on to? And it's just because there's this aspect of yourself that is now coming to the forefront, pole number 3, and it's like the missing piece of your puzzle, the puzzle that makes up you. This sensitivity, this coming into your natural gifts and abilities, and this could be anything. It doesn't have to be in the healing world, but it's something in you that you never saw before, but it comes naturally to you. You might be just a naturally beautiful public speaker. You might just have this soothing voice that, and people that are stressed just listen to it. It really doesn't matter what you say. It's just the melody of your voice that people tap into, and they find you so soothing. It could be anything. It could be your natural leadership skills, but in a way that you lead with this gentleness that people are so willing to follow. You know, it just comes natural to you, but I don't think you've ever known it. So I don't think it's something that you've done before. So let's go back to the leadership quality. Maybe you've never led. Maybe you've never been a manager or a supervisor or a boss, or, you know, and you're being asked to tap into that. It's that kind of energy, pole number 3. So I hope that makes sense, because it's coming through like Spirit saying, that's why we've started here, because it's so important. This is what brings the rest. So Spirit's almost saying this part of the reading, it doesn't matter if you didn't get to it. If you stop the reading now, you have the message that you need. Okay. So then your overall energy is her little cauldron. And I feel this is really touching on this sensitivity. You know, some of you might have, you know, healing abilities in the food that you cook. You know, the love that you put in your meals has a healing quality to it. But there's a sense here that you see it as this thing of no interest. Like, you know, I don't feel that you even see, like some of you don't even see what it is, that you don't see your gift. And there's others of you that are like, that's not a gift. I feel there's this sense of step back. Maybe it's this flow. Maybe you don't need to step back. Maybe you just need to pause. I feel like going out into nature is going to be really beneficial for you. Thank you, Spirit. I just got the message that for some of you, you're actually going to be healing yourself on some aspect. This could be physically healing yourself, emotionally, mentally, coming to an understanding that releases you from a pattern in your life, or from some pain that you've been holding on to. And that can be the catalyst that makes you realize, oh, wow. And because you're listening to this, you're going to realize that's a gift. This is a little bit of a difficult reading to. I hope that this is making sense, pole number 3. Spirit is saying that it's making sense to those that need this message right now. If it doesn't make sense to you, pole number 3, maybe come back to it in a week or 2. Spirit's saying there is a message here for you. But if you're kind of thinking, what is she talking about? Come back to it. But when you come back to this picker card, make a note. Pick pole 3 again. This pole is for you, maybe just not right now. Get the feeling like with this, her little cauldron, what starts off as little is going to blossom into something quite big. Some of you will turn this gift into an actual profession. You'll do this as a job, or you'll have your own company. It'll lead to you opening up and finding love. It brings changes, because I'm seeing the cauldron, and it's like the cauldron is like there's a potion in it. It's magical. But it's quiet. It doesn't hit you like a ton of bricks. It's not in your face and loud. It's just this gentle little thing. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. And it speaks to you. It whispers to you. You know, because Spirit's showing me like the breeze, gentle, like a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves of a tree, and it's just that little rustling sound. And you know, if you're present and if you're that way inclined, you can sit under a tree and think, oh, what are they whispering about? And you're going to tune into that. There's this energy that you're going to be tuning into, and it's a little bit, it's not mainstream. Thank you, Spirit. I was thinking to myself, I don't know how I'm going to say that. What I mean by not mainstream, it's like that you're going to hear whispers in the trees, but you're going to hear it like messages. You're going to channel, or your cooking is, you know, people are going to say to you, you know what, I had a really bad day, and now after having your beautiful meal, I feel so good. And you're just going to be inclined to laugh and go, oh, look at me, I'm so silly. I'm not so silly. Oh. But there's something in it. There's something in it, pole number 3. And it's magical. You know, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said to me, and they wanted to give you like a real concrete thing, because if this is not in the healing world, if you like. And Spirit said to me, you might be working in an office or at reception, be a receptionist somewhere, or work at the reception of something, a company, and you might notice that people might be a bit agitated, or a bit like, oh, I'm in a rush and I just want to do this, or I just want to book this appointment, and by the end they're going, oh, thank you, and you can feel their energy has completely shifted. That's a natural ability, that's a natural gift, to soften people. Even in a short 5-minute telephone conversation, you're going to start to notice those little things. In noticing that, you change pole number 3. The company of trees. And the first message that Spirit gave to me with this is that you will be changing company. And I when the message first came through to me, I actually thought like the company that you keep, the people around you. But then as I said it aloud, I thought, oh gosh, it could actually be the company that you work for. Now, Spirit is very adamant here that it could change or it could shift. So you might find that, let's say you're the receptionist that we just spoke about. Gosh, suddenly you see your worth and you ask for a pay rise and they give it to you. They can see how good you are. It's you couldn't. And that job suddenly becomes more meaningful to you. And it brings more reward in this sense, in the sense of money. For others of you, it's this opening up and this realization of who you are. It's almost like this aspect of yourself that we spoke of earlier that was hidden is no longer hidden. So you're attracting the right people to you. It's not that you were trying to be unauthentic, it's just that you never tapped into your authenticness. And suddenly you are now. You see your worth, you see your value, you see your gifts, you see what you have to offer, and that puts you in a different place. And I feel that's when these more aligned relationships come in, and they can be friends, they can be work colleagues, and they can be romantic relationships. Because when all these cups came out, Spirit said to me, this for some is about love. Not for all of you, but Spirit said to me, you will need to mention that in your reading. Some of you, it's this romantic partner that you have been hoping for, longing for, wanting, and I feel for a while. And they're going to be aligned with who you are. That real you. The company of trees as well is Spirit saying go out into nature. There's a lot of healing in nature, and nature is a beautiful space that helps us tap into those aspects of ourselves that we don't see very often, or that we've never tapped into. And the company of trees is also showing me that you may need to, while this is all happening and you're coming to this understanding, pole number 3, you may need to seek the company of nature more than the company of people around you. Don't be afraid if you Spirit's saying you're not, because I was saying to Spirit, oh, are you going to draw back, withdraw? And Spirit said to me, no. So you're not withdrawing, pole number 3. Spirit brought me back to this flow card. You're just being present and mindful. So you're not rushing around all over the place. You're going to allow things to come to you. So this can mean as well is you're not going to race from one place to another, catching up with people or trying to make things happen. It's almost like they'll come to you. And again, that beautiful, gentle energy of just being present, of just allowing what is to be. And then we finish your reading with the tarot, and you've got the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. And Spirit's just made me laugh, because Spirit said, have you noticed that it's 3, 2, 1 and not 1, 2, 3? And Spirit's saying to me, it's almost like the countdown to this gift from the universe that brings you fulfillment. And it's almost like the 3 and the 2 is like, this is what's coming. 3, 2, 1, poof, there it is. The Ace of Cups, I feel, comes when you have tapped into that hidden aspect of you. And thank you, Spirit. Spirit saying that hidden aspect of you, pole number 3, if you just think of it as in a belief in yourself that you didn't have before, a knowing of yourself that you didn't have before. Don't worry so much about what the gift or talent is. Just know it's an aspect of yourself that you never tapped into. It can be self-esteem that you never knew you had, like self-belief that you didn't realize was in you. But if you focus on that, not so much what this is, the energy will flow much, much better. Because if you don't, you're basically going out looking for it, aren't you? Trying to find what it is. Friendships and love. Connections. This is fulfillment that comes with other people. And this is finding your place, finding your loved ones. This is true connection. And I feel that these people come first. These people come into your life almost, gosh, like a gift from the universe. And they're aligned. The cups of fulfillment. There's joy, so much joy and so much love and connection, giving and receiving, being in balance, and being authentic. They're dressed, look how differently they're dressed. And that shows that you're not the same. And you don't need to change yourself in order to find love or in order to find your soul tribe. And the Ace of Cups is a new beginning that leads you to fulfillment. So your next path, pole number 3, is a path to fulfillment. That'll be understanding what fulfills you. There's going to be a lot of success and a lot of happiness on the next path. Does that mean that it'll be worry-free or no challenges? Of course not. But there's a sense, pole number 3, that you're going to understand that this path is exactly for you. So everything that comes on this path, you know, will fulfill you. It will help you grow and learn more, or it will help you find joy and love. Like there's this sense that Spirit said say it, so I'm going to say it. There's this sense that it doesn't matter what happens on your next path, pole number 3. You're tapping into this fulfillment. Your cup's overflowing. I feel like you're going to have so much to give that even when you have worries and doubts, obstacles, challenges, you're just going to know that that is how the universe is opening you up to more understanding. And you're going to allow it. This flow is so important. Gosh, these readings, my friends, have been really massive, like really, really deep and beautiful. I'm going to leave those messages there, pole number 3. Love, light and blessings, my friends. Take good care of yourself and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Welcome, welcome, my friends, to your weekly pick a card reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. Okay, so we've got grateful, we've got replenish, We've got the 13 Esbat. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The 13th Esbat. We've got transcend amidst the everyday. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. Okay. Just grab the energies for your reading, pole number 4. Just going to see where Spirit wants me to start. Okay. So your overall energy, we've got the 13th Esbat, and also transcend amidst the everyday. Now the Esbat is like a ceremony to the full moon that was generally practiced by the witches. I think it's something maybe that especially solitary witches did. I'm not quite sure, or do. But there's this sense here of connecting with ancient wisdom. So the witch would connect with her ancestors, past witches, future witches, and would receive information and guidance and new ways of doing things, or new rituals that she could practice. And it's said that, you know, often they would guide the witch to a place of great healing, or a place that maybe had great healing plants, a place that would nurture her. So it's all about discovering, it's all about shared information. I feel pole number 4, if you've been going it alone, I feel there's people coming in, new friends, romantic relationships, better connections with colleagues, bosses, just people that you randomly meet. There's this card is giving me a real sense of connection. And Spirit's just saying to me, that's not just connection to the people that are here in the now, like in this physical 3D world. Some of you will be connecting maybe with some of your ancestors, maybe with family or friends that have passed, maybe with ideas that come to you from, you'd say, I don't know where it came from, it's just sort of popped into my head. There's a connection here that is really deep, and I feel very spiritual. And I feel that pole number 4, the people that come into your life, we're all so different, but they'll be the same as you in how you view the world, your beliefs and your values. There's a sense here that you'll understand each other so deeply because there is that understanding. There is that deeper connection. You won't feel like you need to explain yourself so much. You'll say something and people just know what you mean. Or those around you that are connecting with you will just know what you mean. You'll go to explain it because I feel pole number 4, you're so used to doing that. And they'll be like, oh, no, I got it. Yeah, I get it. And they'll be like, oh, no, you don't need to explain that. And you're going to be like, I don't. And I don't think it's new to them, because I feel like they're ahead of you on this journey. They've already tapped into their gifts and talents. They've already tapped into the unseen, the unknown. And I feel you're just starting pole number 4, or it's just coming forth in you. And you're going to be quite amazed at the level of understanding that those that are coming to you have, because you're going to be kind of thinking, well, I can barely understand what I'm trying to say, so I don't know how they understand. But pole number 4, they just do. And Spirit just said to me, don't think that they're doing it just to agree with you and to just because they're not interested. So rather than dive deep into it, you know, don't see the fact that you don't need to explain. Don't see it as others are not interested or they don't want to know more. It's just that they understand. And your need to explain, I think, is something that could come up for you, because I feel pole number 4, you've just always had to explain yourself, because I think your ideas, just even the way you are or the way you see the world, is maybe quite different from mainstream. So you're used to explaining, and now the fact that you don't have to explain, you're like, oh, are they just not even interested? Like, they're not even asking me anything, so they're just not interested. It's not that at all, pole number 4. It's just that they know. And there's, once that realization hits you, you're going to feel, because I'm just getting this, where have you been all my life? You're going to feel so seen and so heard. I just feel like there's no loneliness here. There's just a bit of aloneness. And I'm wondering if some of you have been alone in, you know, if you practice the craft, maybe in your craft, alone in your belief system. You know, maybe your natural gifts and abilities, you feel alone with them because maybe you kind of hide them, or you don't tell people what you do. It's that kind of energy, and that's no more. And it's going to take a bit of a journey to get there. And Spirit just said to me, that's okay. That's okay. Your other overall energy is transcendent amidst the everyday. I don't know why that word's got me stumped. I just want to say transcend. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's basically said transcend the everyday. And this is that energy of there's more in us than the everyday. Nobody's born more special than another. And no soul is more special than another. But for many of us, we never tap into that deeper how can I say that? How can I explain that? The essence of who we are, the magic of who we are. Thank you, Spirit. Transcend the everyday. Basically, Spirit saying, don't be normal. Don't be average. And Spirit said, now, that's exactly what Spirit wanted me to say. But now Spirit's saying also, it's not trying to be somebody else. It's just being who you are, accepting all aspects of yourself. It's not all of us were made. Okay, so this is, I feel the need to say this. This is not Spirit that feels the need. Spirit asked me to make the difference between that. I feel that I want to say all of us are different. Okay, so what suits one doesn't suit another, and that's how I want you to take this message that Spirit has given me. So I wanted to add that beginning bit. Not everyone was made to have a 9-to-5 job, be married and have children. Not everyone was made to follow in the footsteps of their parents and take over a family business or run a family farm. Not everyone was made where when they finished school they knew exactly what they wanted to do. Not everyone was made to fit this mold that society has created. Now, a lot of us are made that way. You know, a lot of us are fulfilled that way, but not all of us. And some people might be fulfilled by having children, by having a family, and not so fulfilled by a career. Some might be fulfilled by the career and not the family. Some might be fulfilled by combining the both. But there's a sense here of don't allow society, your community, the way you were brought up, your programming, to dictate who you are or how you live your life. And I feel that we're very lucky, and the generations to come will hopefully be even luckier, because we have so much more choices now, don't we? We don't have to marry. We don't have to have children. We don't have to have these brilliant careers, though those things are still thought of as important. Those things are still thought of, oh wow, well, you know, what kind of life do you lead if you don't, those things are not important to you? What is, you know? So there is still judgment on it. There is still, you know, a lot of people that don't understand. And that's okay. That's not their path. That's not their understanding. We were all born with the gift to channel. We were all born with the gift to see more than our physical selves. You know, our soul is limitless. Our soul, each and every one of our soul can do everything. But it doesn't mean we're going to tap into that in this lifetime. We've all got different paths, different journeys, and different things we're wanting to learn and tap into in this lifetime. And that changes everything. And this is saying what you consider normal. Okay, Spirit's just asked me to rephrase that. What you have been led to believe is normal, pole number 4, may not be your normal. May not be what truly makes your heart sing. And Spirit really wants to call your attention to that. The additional messages, I feel, really tap into that. And I feel with both of them, I'm going to read them together here for you, pole number 4. I'm really feeling that grateful and replenish. I feel like you feel, pole number 4, that you should be so much more grateful than you are. I feel like you know that gratitude is such an important part of manifesting and aligning, but I feel that there's a sense of, yes, I could list everything that I'm grateful for, but that feeling of gratefulness doesn't burst out of me. You know how sometimes you just think, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy to be me. I'm just so happy to be where I am. I feel, pole number 4, as I'm saying that, you're probably thinking, oh, I don't know about that. There's also a sense that you feel depleted more than you feel replenished. You feel that, and I'm not talking about here that you give more than you receive. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about energy. It's almost like the things that you do take your energy, that don't replenish it. Those feelings, they're Spirit's way of showing you that there's something that's not quite in alignment here, pole number 4. Of course, when we do our work, even if we're doing something that we love, of course we need moments of rest. Check to see if you're doing too much. You might be doing too much. But for the majority, I feel that what you're doing doesn't fuel you. Now, I know we all have jobs and we all need to make money to live and things like that. Spirit's not saying here, it's not that you need to throw that away and find an alternative way to live, go and live in the woods and, create magic potions or things like that. Not at all. But if that is your calling, oh my friends, that's beautiful. But of course, that's not going to resonate with everybody. That'll only probably resonate with a very minority. But what it is that understanding how it depletes you. Let me give you, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's given me an example which I think is beautiful. So I want you to imagine that you are a receptionist somewhere and you're kind and you're gentle and people resonate with that, but after a 5-minute conversation you're exhausted, and you're just exhausted every day, and over the weekend you don't go out and see people because you just think, oh, I just need to rest to be able to do my week again next week. Your gift may not lie in talking. The fact that you talk all day to multiple, lots and lots of different people depletes you, because that's not a strength. There might be somebody else that could talk all day long and just each conversation fuels them for the next. They'll be tired at the end of the day, but they won't have that worn out, depleted kind of energy. And then you might find that you transfer and you get put into, say, payroll, and you sit there crunching numbers, and it's so busy, and you're in front of your computer, and you're just, from the minute you walk in to the minute you walk out, you're busy. But you finish your day and you're like, oh, I've accomplished so much, I feel really good. I'm tired, but I'm not drained. It's that energy of finding what suits us. And we're not all the same. There's no, there's no one attribute that's better than another. They're just different. And you're going to see this, pole number 4. You're going to see this. You're going to be, and I feel that with this card, the 13 Esbat, you're going to see this. You're going to be shown. I feel like you're going to be guided. Like, I keep getting the image of somebody grabbing your hand and leading you. And it could be a physical person, but I'm kind of getting it more spiritually. You're going to be guided to this understanding that changes your world. It changes not only how you see yourself, but what you do in the world. Possibly how you view the world. And there's this sense of, in seeing your difference, pole number 4, and this is really interesting energy that Spirit's showing me. In seeing your difference, it doesn't make you feel isolated. It actually brings you back to people. Because you're going to understand, you're going to be shown this fundamental aspect of yourself that is like that hidden key that unlocks an aspect of you that you never noticed. You might realize, do you know what? I need a lot of peace in my life. I need those quiet times. And you might have been dating outgoing people that love to be mixing in crowds and going on adventures and seeing new places. And you wondered why your relationships never worked. And now it's like this, you're guided to unlock this aspect of yourself that you're going, oh, and you're going to find another beautiful quiet soul where you might just pack a picnic and go and sit in a quiet part of a park and just each bring a book or just chat quietly to each other. But there's going to be this aspect of quietness. You might be the other way around. You might have been brought up thinking, oh, I've got to be quiet and don't make noise, don't draw attention to yourself because you're showing off. And so you've attracted people that were more quiet. And, it didn't work. You had friends maybe that didn't really want to go out and party or go out and be exuberant, and you always felt a bit like, oh. And then suddenly that aspect of yourself gets unlocked and you're kind of like, oh, and you draw in. I'm not to say that you'll always, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's telling me it's not to say that you're just going to find people that are exactly like you. Not at all. Differences, we're drawn to different people because they bring us different things, don't they? They bring us different insights. But I'm saying like core relationships in your life where it mattered to you, where you couldn't be yourself because Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's saying to be careful with this one. It's not that you couldn't be yourself because you were trying to be like everybody else. It's almost like you didn't have the opportunity, you know, or you were in environments that weren't conducive, you know, and some environments aren't. You know, if you're loud and the life of the party, you know, a library is probably somewhere where you're not going to automatically be drawn to. You'll go and you might enjoy it while you're there, but it's not something that you'll do often. It doesn't fit your energy. Thank you, Spirit. That was beautiful, because that was a perfect way of showing it. I hope that makes sense, pole number 4. But there's this sense that in this, as this understanding, you're shown what this is all about. So don't go out and seek it, pole number 4. Don't go out and seek it. It'll come to you. It'll come to you in a book. It'll come to you in a dream. It'll come to you from guidance, from a download, channeling, a dream. You might connect with an angel, you might connect with a spirit guide, an animal guide, and this information comes to you. And I feel this information takes away this uncertainty I feel that's been in you for a very long time. And you know, Spirit, I wasn't sure if I should say it or not, and Spirit said yes, definitely say it, it's important. For some of you, this is since childhood. You haven't been sure on how to act or how to be, and there was almost sometimes this awkwardness, and I think most of us are awkward as children as we try to find out, or adolescents maybe, as we try to find our way. I think children are much more free. But there's this kind of like, oh, I don't want to go, but I'm going to, I should, and there's all this like, and Spirit's giving me no words, it's just giving me that. And sometimes you have fun, sometimes you enjoy yourself, but a lot of the time I just feel like you think, I wish I didn't have to do that. That's just gonna, I'm so tired, I'm so drained. This understanding takes away so much doubt, takes away so much indecision, takes away this energy of, I don't want to do that, but I know I should do that, and just where we don't follow our heart. It leads to, emotionally imbalances in our life. And for a lot of you, pole number 4, this is why relationships haven't worked, or this is where difficulties have come about in your work life. It's almost like you're walking around with shoes that didn't fit. So then they made you walk funny. I don't know if you're nodding, but Spirit just showed me a whole bunch of heads nodding, kind of going, oh yes, yes. And we've got the Knight of Wands. And I feel this Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is, I like this energy. Maybe because, my sun and moon are Aries and Leo, 2 fire signs. This energy is taking steps towards our passions, our dreams, our goals, our callings, our purpose, what the fire in our belly, what fires us up, what gets us excited, gets us out of bed in the morning. And it's taking that Ace of Wands and moving forward with it. Purpose and direction, excitement, exhilaration, kind of going for it. And I feel pole number 4, this is the energy that you're taking on board. I love how he's in the middle of your reading, because when he comes in, this doubt, this uncertainty, this toing and froing, this 1 step forward, 3 steps back, and this 3 of Swords, this is heartbreak. And I feel this is heartbreak, pole number 4, in those relationships that haven't worked. And you know, pole number 4, they haven't worked not because there wasn't love. We can love somebody unconditionally and the relationship not work. And that is so painful. That is so, so painful. But you can love somebody as they are and accept them, like I said, but when you communicate, you miss. There's no harmony, because you're not only different in the way that you are, values, beliefs, just the way that you are, but you're different in vibration. You're different in the way you understand or receive or give information. And therefore the clogs never seem to come together. So, you know, if the clogs don't come together in a clock, it can't turn. And so it's almost like, you know, you miss. So it causes like, sorry with all my all my grunting and noises, but I think sometimes they're actually better than words, aren't they? The Spirit's telling me that you'll understand. And that's why your relationships haven't worked. It's not because you didn't love. It's not because you didn't try. It's just that this hidden aspect of yourself, this understanding of yourself, this coming into alignment with yourself, just created these bonds with people, situations, jobs, friends that didn't gel. And so forcibly at one stage or another, they kind of then repelled. You know, I'm kind of thinking of like 2 magnets that, you know, that they repel each other. Or I'm thinking of like oil and water. You know, they don't mix well. They sit on top of each other and they just kind of like, so there's no netting. There's no merging, coming together. There's no understanding. They can't. And I feel that's what you've been experiencing. And I feel that this Knight of Wands is saying, that's no more. I really feel, pole number 4, you're going to see a big difference in your life, your relationships, and not just how they are, but how you see yourself in them, how you operate in the world. That's a big message. And I feel like your everyday is changing. It's really changing. I'm going to leave you with those messages, beautiful pole number 4. Lots of love, light and blessings. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.